concerned about the corruption in the election process. I don't think there is a single one of these aldermen that wasn't elected honestly. I think every one of those elections were there, and that's unfortunate because it says that you people elected them. We can't blame it on somebody running the election machine.
Yeah. Here you go. Talking Racine is coming your way. Same old characters, George Myers, Jim Sladek,
Hey.
and Dr. Jorgen. And tonight we're going to do something different. Well, it's this morning, isn't it?
It's morning.
We're going to start with a video.
Something different.
Yeah, we got a video of the husband and wife team that opened the Racine Brewery, and sadly enough, after a couple of years, they're not making it. So they're giving a little public explanation of what happened to them, and why don't you watch it with us, and then we'll talk about it a little afterwards. Fire up, Jim.
Alrighty.
My name is Andy Molina. This is my wife, Angie Molina. We own Racine Brewing Company, and we are making this in the hopes to basically explain our story, and in the hopes that everyone out there will see this and help support small businesses a little more than they have been lately. We have also now lost our business and our life savings. We feel that basically people who have not been coming out and trying to and not supporting the businesses that they once were before COVID, it is very, very damaging to like all small businesses. People are losing their life savings. People are losing their houses. People are losing their college funds for their kids. And we just want to build up support for those small businesses that are struggling. Small business owners are very proud. They will not ask for help. They want to earn all the money that they take in. They don't want GoFundMes. They don't want handouts. They want customers, and they need customers, because in this time right now, it is just astronomical in what's been going on in small businesses. We really, really just want you guys to get out there and support the small businesses before they go under. When the businesses close, everyone is up in arms. Why were you closing? We thought you were doing good. Well, when you ask the business owner how they're doing, they'll say they're making it. But what they're really saying is their business is crippled and they are losing money hand over fist. And
with all that being said, I just want us to finish by saying thank you so much to all of those that have been coming in for the past year and a half, trying their hardest to support us as much as they possibly can.
Well, it's sad to lose another business,
Yeah.
yeah?
Yeah.
And I just like to make a comment about just that last thing about what the lady said there about this, thanking the supporters. Really, the people that came there were thanking them when they came there for having a good product. They didn't go there as a like you might do on a community project or a aid to a crippled person or something like that project where you're going to help somebody that's really downtrodden. People went there because they liked that product, and although I'm kind of a teetotaler, so but I can appreciate small business because I've been in a small business for all my life. And the thing is that they were supplying something that people wanted, and why people weren't going there wasn't because they didn't like small businesses or something like that. Part of it was because there was this government over here shutting things down and discouraging people from going out and enjoying life with other people, saying that that's a dangerous thing. You're a You're a spreader of a disease if you go to a place like that and enjoy yourself and imbibe with other people. So that's what I think is it's a real shame here. But I people like small businesses because small businesses provide them with certain things that big businesses can't do. The guy up in the corporate office cannot offer the same thing that someone who's right down there hands-on with the customer, like this couple is. That corporate executive cannot offer that. He might be able to offer a product that's maybe a little cheaper or something like that, but when it comes down to a person, like restaurants, you notice how restaurants, the owner is almost always around, because that's a very, very personable business. And people go there because they enjoy going to that restaurant, and they enjoy that owner, and they enjoy that evening with that person. And they don't need to thank anybody for supporting them. The supporters need to thank them for having been there, and we're sorry to see them go.
One of the things I kind of read into that, maybe I'm reading in a little bit, but he was kind, I would say, in the way he was trying to explain how his business was not functioning, because it wasn't functioning, because there were these restrictions, 25% occupancy, how many different things and variations, the mask and all the other things that really was difficult. I mean, when you only get 25% of your customers coming in there, and then obviously afraid, and the city of Racine almost went out of their way to restrict small business. But Walmart was open, Kmart were Walmart and Home Depot, and those were open. But this business, he was open at 25% occupancy,
right,
which was a small business that needed those dollars to keep those doors open. So I think he was kind in his farewell.
reportage.
Yeah.
50 years ago, I might have helped him stay in business. I don't drink anymore, but back in the day,
But there's other small businesses. There's people in clothing, people in various types of activities that are suffering the same thing. So I'm not looking at him.
Well, the fitness center too. Remember
That's right.
that.
There's a fitness center. See, so a lot of people have been hurt with this, and I've always been suspicious of these businesses I see come into Racine and disappear, because I've always felt that this fellow just validated. I've always felt that they lost their savings along with it. People save up for this dream, and they put everything into this dream, and then when it falls through, they haven't just lost their dream. They've lost their savings. They've lost a lot of financial things, actually, physical things also with it. And when you've got a government that's constantly putting restrictions on their activities and not letting them be creative and do things that would help, like maybe put a table out on the sidewalk and show some people out there enjoying their thing. Well, no, we can't do that. That's against the ordinance. Or how about a big sign that says something like that?
It's kind of interesting. Now the mask ordinance is back in effect in the city of Racine, and now you're going to come into his establishment. You're supposed to wear a mask. You can be fined, and if you have patrons who aren't wearing a mask, you could lose your license, but it doesn't matter to him any longer. But the mask mandate comes into Racine. Now, this is the kind of stuff, when you see something like this, and then you see with your aldermen put in a mask ordinance, what are you really doing? I mean, you think, well, I'm going to save people from catching COVID. That mask isn't going to do a damn thing. It's a control factor. And what you did is you pushed this business and probably other businesses we don't even know about out. And it's been difficult, and it continues in Racine. It doesn't even let up. But I kind of want to go on.
I'll tell you what, though. I think there are plenty of people that just say, mask my butt, and
that could be.
But there's a lot of times I'll walk into a store and I've forgotten my mask out in the car or whatever. I generally go along with the mandate.
Yeah.
But
I'll be honest with you. I mean, Racine. If I have to go to Racine for something, I'll tell you what. If there's a mask mandate, I do actually avoid it, to be quite frank.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people.
And
do.
I think they do, and I think that's what's affected his business. But I want to go.
Well, it's a very competitive business too, though. Opening a bar in Racine, crepes. How many?
I'm not going to take anything.
We're licensed.
But I'm not going to take anything away from this.
Doc, all businesses are competitive. That's a part of living in a free country. You if you live in a totalitarian state, yes, the winners are picked and losers are picked by the government. But in a free country, it's always competition, and there's always going to be somebody that's going to compete with you, and you just have to provide a better product. And I tell you, another thing that would help a business like this, and I've been talking about this for a long time, and I'm bringing it up again. There'd be nothing like having an additional 20,000 customers living in Racine. That's how many people we've lost in the last 50 years.
Yeah.
And if we had those extra 20,000 people, businesses like this and people like downtown would have 20,000 more customers right in their neighborhood, ready to go there and shop. But when you keep doing the things that that our government does, with our huge taxes, we got twice the tax rate of competing Mount Pleasant and Caledonia. We have regulations galore. People strolling the streets from the government, making sure that everything in your store is looking good and everything's proper and according. It's called the Code Enforcement Division.
Taxes have gone down in Racine.
Oh yeah, right.
You're paying more,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
but taxes have gone
Well,
down.
here's the thing.
It's a miracle the way they do that.
Where is
No,
our?
it's amazing. The magicians down at City Hall.
Yeah,
they can
they're
pull that off.
magical. But I want to talk about the Common Council and where is their heads at? Now you got a guy like this losing his business, and I'm sure there's other stuff. And just take a ride around Racine. It's as bad as I've seen it ever. But they're going to hire an equity officer.
Yeah, I see that.
Now that should solve some things.
That's going to save the day.
Yeah.
I mean, but this is what I'm saying. This
I
is
just
where
wonder
their
what it's
heads
going to
are at.
solve. I mean, it sounds good. An equity officer? Doesn't that sound
I'm all
good?
for it. I wonder if have they opened
Equity.
up? Are they
Equity is
interviewing
so
for
nice.
this? Are they
Equity.
interviewing for this job yet?
I don't know.
I don't know. How do you feel equity?
I'm a very equitable
Equitus?
guy.
Do you feel equitous?
I'm
maybe we should apply. Sometimes I feel equitous.
No, you're too old. I can handle this.
But I mean, this is the
need
mentality.
Youth.
Wait.
They need youth.
They need youth. they need age also. I could be part of the
Yeah.
age.
But what the heck is
Age
a
equity.
equity officer? I mean, I get your point. Who came up with this, and what is it
Well,
supposed
this
to
is
solve? What kind of-
Alderman Meekman. This is the mindset. Alderman Meekman voted for the mask ordinance, and then he comes back with this. I mean, it's
I
just,
think I heard that in that book by Orwell. Didn't they have an equity officer in Georgia in
God. It could be.
1984?
It could be.
Yeah, obviously of equity.
No,
yeah.
I think you're making stuff up, George.
I wouldn't do that.
Anyway.
Sounds right, though.
but that's one. The other one that the hot plate on them is the code of conduct among the aldermen.
Boy.
That's another one.
What happened to that? I remember the code of conduct came back up. It was coming up several years ago.
Yep. Well,
And-
this is where
and it suddenly left.
I like this. I got to read this because this is a beautiful sentence here. This is poetry. Additionally, the person would work with city offices to incorporate equity action plans to strengthen equity in city offices and really ensure that we have this as a priority both internally and working to incorporate this externally into our actions in the community. Now, if you can understand that,
yeah.
please.
I hope we didn't lose.
Send me a letter.
Lose too many viewers. Though,
Please send me a letter and explain what the hell somebody was saying with that sentence.
This is what I mean, though. This guy's reality. This is such bogus. Pie in the sky stuff.
Well, you don't know if it's
Well, wait,
bogus because you can't
No,
understand what
no,
the hell
no,
he's
no.
saying.
No, it's very clear here, Doc. It says right here, officers incorporate equity actions to strengthen equity.
Oh, there you
Now,
go.
doesn't that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense, but I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
If it makes sense to you, Doc, good luck.
But the
I
other,
feel for you, buddy.
No, he wants to increase equity.
Yeah, by having an equity officer will increase
I mean,
equity.
No, but wait a minute. Now,
so never
now,
mind.
don't you like to have equity in your home?
It sure sounds good.
Maybe that's what they're talking about.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to get to the code of conduct. Because
Back
now,
to the code of conduct.
All right.
All right. So one of the quotes in here, Tate said, the council took up the matter of a code of conduct in 2019 due to certain behavior on the council at the time, but he offered no specifics.
Yeah, well, we know exactly what
We
the
know
hell
what
he's
this-
talking
yeah.
about. That would have been
I think the initials are SW.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
silly woman. Sorry, Sandy.
Remember that, Sandy?
Yeah.
But that
When Sandy left the office, all of a sudden,
She started asking questions
Yeah, I know,
about
she was- that's right.
things that were abnormal.
disturbing. That's right,
Yeah.
and she was.
where's
she
the
was-
money? That was a question.
Yeah,
like,
where's the money?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and of course you got to shut this down.
No, seriously, that was what when they brought that up. That was an attack on Sandy
So
Widener. For
why are
her
they bringing it up now
independent
again?
thinking.
I mean, if we got another independent thinker in the
yeah,
council.
when she left, it disappeared.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, I don't know. Maybe Henry's the next target.
I don't know, but
Henry
this is what it
Perez
is.
over there in the
You know,
third.
they can. Well, here's another one. In part of their code of conduct, aldermen shall refrain from discussing private matters of the council.
Oh, I like that. What the heck are private matters of the
Yeah.
council?
What's
When did the council have
what's-
private matters?
What is the council doing in private that it wants
It's,
to
you know,
keep
that's
private?
the thing. I mean, the city business is the people's business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is, I mean, but this is the mentality you have. And it really, you know, the more I look at this, and I've been kind of watching these common council, you got a bunch of kids running the common council. They're just academically, I don't know, they might be smart in a specific field, but it's in the journey of life, lacking a lot.
You know, Jim, I think that's probably one of the big barriers we have to overcome, and that is this tendency of people to put people into office, vote for them because they like them, because they are likable people. And there's nothing wrong with a likable person, absolutely nothing wrong, but sometimes they don't belong in government because they don't understand government and they don't understand the role of government, and they become the opponents of, like this couple that was in business. You know, they suddenly become a problem to everyone because of what they think government should be doing.
Now, you got to be careful with the way you're talking there, George, because it almost sounds like you're saying you should vote for somebody you don't like. You know, if somebody's out there not paying attention to what you're saying real close, you're saying don't vote for them just because you like them. So
all right. Let me clarify that. Yeah. Let me clarify. You should not vote for somebody just because you like them, and you might want to vote for somebody you don't like because they would do a good job when they're in government. Does that clarify that? Does that get me off the hot plate?
Yeah. That's better.
You know, but you do have to, I think you brought up representative government. I mean, we do. Some of these people aren't that sharp, but that may represent who the voting population is in Racine. I mean, I hate to say that, but it's
Take a look at your alderman. If he's a goofball and you voted for him, representative government.
Yeah,
I mean,
right. You
people
really
tend
do.
to vote for people that they feel are like them,
Right.
that will represent who they are. And
Well, there's one thing for sure, for you people that are being concerned about the corruption in the election process. I don't think there is a single one of these aldermen that wasn't elected honestly. I think every one of those elections were there, and that's unfortunate because it says that you people elected them. We can't blame it on somebody running the election machine.
Yeah.
You know,
you kind of wish you could say that
or stuffing the
somebody
ballot
had
box
to
or
have
something
somebody
like that.
had to have
this is
cheated.
impossible to have this guy as an alderman.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
my God.
I'm afraid that is what's there, and I would invite you to look at the proposition that the purpose of government is not to run the city,
To make sure the city runs.
to make sure the city runs, or more specifically, the way I like to think about it is like the cop watching over the playground. You want to make sure the bullies are not wrecking the playground and beating up kids and doing nasty things. We want to keep the city so that honest people can get out there and make an honest living. And it's not up to the aldermen to do it for them. It's just up to the aldermen to make sure that these other things aren't coming in, like the bullies on the playground, and disrupting the play.
Well, we got one other thing that
Yep.
we got on the agenda here. The city hires a law firm defending itself against a open records request.
Yes. So the city,
That's horrible.
yeah, I mean, you ask for records from the city.
And you end up paying for a lawyer to tell you why you can't have the records.
Right. Now, I mean, we can go
No,
back
that's
to
pretty screwed up.
Yeah. We go back to Sandy Weiner. This started early on. This is not something new. The city has been a serial offender of not filling records requests.
Yeah.
That's documented. So Sandy Weiner came in and said, as an alderperson, came in and said, I want these records. Well, of course, that went through a whole nationally recognized seal the court on Gaskergevich's court, and it flipped over, and she's still going to appeals, came back, went to Kenosha, now she's in appeals again. But this is all on a cover-up of open records. Now we have, which was Attorney Cardell out of Minneapolis area, asking for open records that he had asked for but did not receive, and Vicky Selko, and I think 2 weeks ago we had a stack of information that was not provided to Cardell, the attorney, of Vicky Selko, which that information was asked for. So obviously they were hiding something. So now he asked for a mandamus to say, hey, turn that stuff over, all of it that we asked for. The city goes and hires an attorney firm out of Waukesha to fight this, to defend
Your tax dollars
Your
at
tax
work.
dollars,
Yeah.
It's amazing, and these are records of the city that are our records.
Yes.
It's everybody. The city represents us. It doesn't represent some little group over here that's interested in building something that we don't know anything about.
So here's George. You know what's interesting? When we go back to this, who put these aldermen in office? Do you think one of them would come in and say, "Why aren't we here turning over those records? The citizens should have information as to what we're doing."
Yeah, should have access to
Yeah.
with the workings of government.
That was the whole. That's right. That was the whole purpose of. On the federal level, it's called the Freedom of Information Act. On the local level, it's been called Open Records Request. So it was the idea that government was supposed to be open. It was people's government. This is a free society. This is not a closed government like communist China. So it was a open and government. Everybody should know what's going on there. And the only thing that was not under it was if there was private information in there,
Right.
about
Health,
so if someone's social
financial.
security number or something like that was
Right.
in there, that wouldn't necessarily be open to the public. But certainly, what the government was doing was supposed to be open to the public. It's our government. We're supposed to be knowing what's going on.
But this will be a little interesting because I don't think you got a law firm, and I'm going to just say that I know that law firm actually in Minneapolis now has opened an office in Brookfield. They're not playing. They brought attorneys down here that are stationed in Wisconsin now, out of Brookfield. So that's
So,
going to be
their job is to keep government closed, is what you're saying?
their job is to open government up.
Open government up.
Matter of
Okay.
fact, I talked to that attorney, and he pointed to City Hall and said, "You got Corey Mason."
Mm-hmm.
So they got a target.
Okay, all right. So this is coming around working on the people's side. In other words,
Oh,
keep getting going.
absolutely.
Okay, good.
Yep.
I just wasn't
Yep.
sure. What
No. I mean they're
No,
looking at
this
Corey
was
Mason.
approved by the council too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're gonna
No,
hire these people.
I think they approved all the money, and Letney just goes out and does it. And
So are you saying this other group was coming down, and so now is the city hall to fight this group coming down from Minneapolis?
No, Minneapolis has extended their office to Brookfield, Wisconsin, to fight City Hall in Racine.
Okay.
To open records in Racine.
To get open records, and you're saying the city is reacting to that by getting some.
Exactly.
They want to hire a city attorney to fight these people. Now that's some interesting
But
stuff, folks.
they're not hiring them to fight these people, George. They're hiring them to conceal this information.
Yeah.
Right.
To
Which is
keep the
basically
information unavailable to the public.
Exactly.
That's what they're fighting
You got to
for.
remember, George.
Right.
CTCL came into Racine. Corey Mason was the linchpin, the kingpin of this whole 5 cities in the state of Wisconsin. So they're coming down here, and they're zeroing in on Racine. So, as far as I'm concerned, you guys got dinner on me if you want to show up sometime.
No, that's very good. It's great. It's great that it's become kind of a national movement. Some of these things, and when cities start to lock up, and close their doors, pull down the window shades, don't let anybody see, we're getting interest from. I mean, we've been interested in it for a long time.
Yeah.
But now we're getting some support. From
George, we've been ahead of the
outside
curve
Racine.
so long. I mean, listen.
Tip
we
of the
have-
spear, Jim. Tip of the spear.
We really have. I mean,
There we go.
we've been there.
Yeah.
I mean, right on from actually the beginning. We've Machinery Row, Foxconn. We come into this CTCL. I mean, we can name a number of them. So anyway, just keep watching Talking Racine. We'll just keep giving it to you.
We'll keep laying it out there. Now, today we're going to open up with a new feature.
Right.
We're going to do a little tape presentation of your alderman.
Right.
your older people. And the person that we've selected to offer up for you to review,
Is this a feature? A
is
feature,
Mr.
featured
Alderman
person, a
Sam
featured
Pete.
alderman?
Sam Pete
Sam
is
Pete.
in the 10th district for your people over there, over by Elmwood Plaza.
We used to-
He's the guy who replaced Kerry Glenn.
Yeah, people used to
Who
have
was
Kerry
one of
Glenn's
our
alderman.
favorites.
You now have Sam Pete, in case you didn't know that. I mean, he kind of slipped in there. You might not have noticed, but he's your alderman now.
So we're going to take off for now. Come back and see us next week, and Jim's going to run a little clip here of the alderman for this 10th district. Have a great week. We'll see you next Monday.
Taking everything else aside, that's the way I have to look at this. What is in the best interest of the citizens in general, from the health and public safety? And secondly, I'm reminded of part of the law of jurisprudence that our country is based on. We have a saying that we rather let an innocent man go free as opposed to convicting a guilty person. So I'm not sure if I said that clearly for everyone, but the bottom line, I will err on err on the side of caution as opposed not to. And I'll leave you with this. When I was looking at my decision, I had to remember, like everyone under the sound of my voice, if one person becomes a casualty because of my decision or lack of decision, I'm the person that has to look at myself in the mirror for the rest of my life, wondering if that choice may have made a difference in that life. It only takes one. I thank you.